One of the biggest lies most car salesmen still believe to this day is that your closing skills determine your income. And from my experience, that's just one of the most flawed statements that I've come across, in this business, right? When you actually put it to work in real life. Because I've seen guys who couldn't close, an open door, right? Actually sell more cars than guys who were great at closing. And that statement is only true because of one thing, because that guy has a better pipeline, which means they have more consistent customers coming in, and then they also have more quality and qualified leads coming their way as well. So let's actually break this down. We're going to cover the lie, the real equation, and the new game. So the lie itself. So a common belief is that most car salesmen think that they just need, better word tracks or common TOs, right? And I'll call this a partial lie, because although this is semi-true, right? The better you are at closing per se, or maybe the better word tracks that you have, it is true that the higher your chances of closing are, right? But if you're only talking to, let's say, 2 real buyers a week, right? And your goal is to make, a lot more money than you are currently right now. Well, if you don't get that number up, right, as far as how many buyers you're seeing on a consistent basis, right, then you're never, going to get to the goals that you ultimately want to hit, right? The priority, the first step before you can get better at closing, right, is to get more customers in front of you. A lot of you get into the industry, right, and your priority when you get in is thinking, how can I get better at closing? How can I get better at sales? How can I get better word tracks? Things of that nature. And although that is necessary eventually, right? But that shouldn't be your priority when you first come in. Your priority coming in should be, how can I get more customers in front of me, right? Because if you're talking to, let's say, 100 people in a month and you close, let's say 20% of them, well, you got 20 car deals, right? Which makes you a decent car sales guy. Then and only then is when you should try to focus on improving your closing rate. Right? Because now if you can get that 20% up to, let's say, 40%, now you're a 40 car guy as opposed to a 20. But did you catch the thing that, came first? You need 100 people, right? You need to see 100 people on a daily basis for this to even be a factor for you. Like the old saying goes, you can't put the cart before the horse. And that statement is very relevant and very true to this industry as well, when guys are trying to focus on learning how to sell when they don't even got no customers in front of them. Right? Like that's just so backwards when you really put it into perspective, right? Like you're trying to figure out how to sell people, but you're not seeing people, right? So what good is you knowing how to sell when these people get in front of you if you're not getting people in front of you to begin with? I'd rather be the guy that doesn't know how to sell, but I'm getting a ton of customers, because I promise you're still gonna make a lot of car deals if you're getting plenty of opportunities. There are people that come into the dealership that you don't need to know how to sell. A lot of them are pre-sold on buying the car anyways, right? So if you can get more opportunities, you're gonna not only make more sales, but over time, you're also gonna naturally get better at selling and closing as well, right? So a partial lie is, like I said, your closing skills determine your income, right? So now let's actually talk about the real equation that breaks this down and what actually equates your income. So your income equation is this: income equals opportunities times your conversion rate times your commission per deal. Your income equation is your opportunities times your conversion rate times your average commission PD, which stands for per deal, right? So everyone obsesses over this, right? Which would be equivalent to your closing rate, right? Your conversion rate, like what's the percentage of opportunities that you actually convert, right? But people are forgetting the first step, right? The first step in this equation is your opportunities. You need opportunities, right, in order for you to get to your conversion rate. Your average commission also can play a factor into your closing ability as well, and your skills, right? But once again, your opportunities come first. You can't put the cart before the horse, right? If you were to double your opportunities, you double your income without changing anything else. If your closing rate stays the same, your average commission stays the same, right? And nothing else changes but the amount of opportunities that you're getting on a monthly basis, you automatically double your income. And then you work your way down the funnel from here, right? You start here. This is priority number one. When businesses start, their priority is figuring out how to get attention, right? How to get people to know about their stuff. All right, once people know about their stuff, then the next step in that process is, okay, now we have to come up with the conversion mechanisms. Now we have to learn how to actually sell our product and close these people on buying our product, right? But you can't sell people that don't exist. You can't sell people things that don't know who you are, right? That just doesn't work. So priority number one is opportunities. That comes first in the funnel. So why does this lie even exist in the first place? Well, first, I think it's just sexy for people to think of the idea that closing is the ultimate way for you to, generate more income, right? Like, hey, you get the, wear this imaginary hat that says, hey, I'm a great closer. Everyone wants to be a great closer, right? But once again, directly learning how to close, if that's your only thing that you're focusing on, that doesn't mean you're going to make a lot more income than the person that doesn't know how to close if they're getting more opportunities, right? And a second point to why I think this exists, and this might be controversial to some, is that I think dealerships want to keep you focused on, selling their traffic, right? Closing their floor traffic that's coming in, as opposed to, creating your own. Because if you can focus on creating your own opportunities, then a lot of the times you won't be focused on selling the traffic that they're bringing in. And that segments right into the next point that I'm going to talk about, which is the new game, right? The new game is for you to generate your own attention, right? Spark your own conversations, book your own appointments, and then sell your own customers that are coming in. So hypothetically speaking, if we had a funnel, right? At the top of the funnel, it's attention, right? You generate your own attention. And this can be done primarily through social media nowadays, right? Things like creating your own organic content or just running your own marketing campaigns, right? Running your own ads to get customers to come in. So you can get free attention or you can pay for attention. Both work very well, right? Doing it for free typically takes a little bit longer. It's organic, right? You have to actually build a following. Paying for attention, you can get immediate attention, right? You can pay Meta to get your ads or your posts in front of your ideal customers right now, right? Start getting people reaching out to you. So you get attention as you continue down, down the funnel. Obviously, less and less people convert as they come down, right? Then now you spark conversations or you contact them. So let's just say conversations. You spark conversations. Then the next step in the funnel is for you to book appointments. And then finally, at the bottom, you sell a car. That's the simple process that you're basically taking, your customers through when you follow these forms of marketing nowadays, right? You generate attention, you spark conversations, right? Over the conversation, you book the appointment, and then the appointment comes in and you sell them a car. Focusing more of your time on mastering this is going to get you better results, more customers, more deals done, as opposed to you trying to focus on learning how to close better or learning the next best word track. Listen, some of you watching this probably can relate already, right? You probably see guys that are selling more cars than you at your dealership, that you look at them and you think to yourself, hey, I think I'm a better closer than this guy. I think when I get in front of a customer, my conversion rate or quote unquote your close rate is higher than this next person. But at the end of the month, every time you look at the board, this person has more cars than you, right? Why is that? Well, this person knows how to get more opportunities than you. They have a much better pipeline, like I said in the beginning, right? They have more consistent customers coming to see them on a daily basis, and they have better quality and qualified leads coming their way. So just keep in mind, you can't outclose in consistency and you can't scale luck. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you all want to see next, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Glad you made it to the end of the video. I got two options for you. You can either watch the next video or you can DM me the word sold on Instagram at Real Corey Brunette. If you're ready to take your car sales career to the next level, I'm looking forward to helping you out. More importantly, looking forward to meeting you. I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a blessed day.